Hello everyone! Welcome back to Bree's Practical English, my English learning channel. Today I want to teach you about the difference between by and until. So by and until are very common words. They are both prepositions of time. And a lot of students mix them up or don't know which one is the correct one to use. But today we are going to master the difference between by and until, and you're not going to have that problem again. Also, don't forget to stay until the very end of this video because there will be homework at the end and I want you to write your answers in the comments down below, okay? Great, let's start. Let's start with the word by. By. By means on or before a deadline. So usually we say by plus a time. So by Wednesday, by next year, by this evening. Okay? Are you with me so far? Let's look at a few examples. If you are working and your boss says, I need this project by next Monday, that means the project has to be finished, has to be ready on Monday or before Monday. So for example, if today is Wednesday, that means I have to finish the project before or on next Monday. So that means if I work very efficiently, I could have it done by tomorrow or in 2 days or the day before the deadline. Anytime on or before the deadline, okay? Let's try an example that is not related to business. I have to wake up early tomorrow, so I want to go to bed tonight by 10 o'clock. That means I want to be in bed and asleep at 10 o'clock or before. At 10 o'clock or before. I want to go to bed by 10 o'clock. I don't want to stay up until 10:30 or 11. I want to go to bed by 10 o'clock. Okay, so 10:30 is too late for me. By 10 o'clock. Let's look at one more example. I have to go grocery shopping. I know that the store closes at 9 o'clock. That means if I want to go grocery shopping, I have to go to the store and finish my grocery shopping by 9 o'clock. By 9 o'clock. So if I go to the store at 9:30, it's going to be too late. The store will already be closed. So I need to go to the store by 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock is the deadline, is the last time I will be able to go to the store. Do you think you understand by now? Let's look at until, okay? Until. So until is also a preposition of time. Until means up to, but not after a specific time. So it's a little different than by. Let's look at a few examples. I studied French until I finished high school. I studied French until I finished high school. This means that at some point I started studying French. And I kept studying French, and when my high school finished, I stopped. I studied French until I graduated from high school, until I finished high school. So at this time, I finished high school and I finished studying French. You can see that it's a little different from by. By means there is one point in time, which is your deadline. Until means something is happening or something is being done, something exists until a certain time, until a specific point. Here's another example. A parent might say to their child, "You can watch TV until it's time for dinner." You can watch TV until it's time for dinner. This means that the child is able to watch TV starting at a point and continuing and stopping when it's time for dinner, until it's time for dinner. You can watch TV until dinner. Stop. Okay? Are you still following me? Let's look at one more example for until. There were no safety precautions in place until the big earthquake happened. There were no safety precautions in place until the big earthquake. So this means that something wasn't there continuously until something happened. There were no safety measures, no safety precautions. At a time and place, something wasn't there. And wasn't there. Earthquake happened. Now we have safety procedures. Now we're thinking about it. So it can also be used in this way when something doesn't exist. Here's another example in the negative. I wasn't hungry until I saw your food. It looks delicious. I wasn't hungry until I saw your food. It looks delicious. This means not being hungry, thinking that I wasn't hungry, started at a certain point. I didn't think I was hungry. I didn't think I was hungry. I didn't think I was hungry. I saw your food. Oh, I'm hungry. So I didn't think I was hungry until I saw your food. It looks delicious. Now I feel hungry. Okay? I hope this is making sense. Let's do a little quiz. I know you guys love quizzes. Let's say I borrow a book from my friend. They ask me to return it next Friday. Which would you use in this case? Please return the book by next Friday, or please return the book until next Friday. Which one do you think it is? Okay, did you think about it? The correct answer is, please return the book by next Friday. By next Friday. If you say until next Friday, it sounds like you will keep returning the book until next Friday. That doesn't really make sense now, does it? Let's try another question. Let's say you have a roommate. You and your roommate make a rule about coming home at a certain time every night. You don't want to stay out too late. You agree that you will come home at a certain time every night. You agree that you will be home before or at the very latest 11 p.m. Which would you use in this sentence? By or until? Please come home by 11 o'clock. Or please come home until 11 o'clock. I'll give you a moment to think about it. Time's up. What was your answer? The correct answer should be by. By. Please come home by 11 o'clock. It means come home before or at 11 o'clock. No later than 11 o'clock. If you said until in this case, it means that you keep coming home, keep coming home, keep coming home until 11 o'clock. And nobody wants to keep coming and going from their house, right? That's a little bit strange. Okay, this is the last question, and I'm sure you can get this one. I want to ask my students to watch my video all the way to the end. What can I say? By or until? Please watch my video by the end. Or, please watch my video until the end. Which one do you think it is? I'll give you a few seconds. Okay, time's up. The correct answer is until. Until. I hope you watch my video until the end. Please watch my video until the end. So it means you keep watching it, keep watching it, keep watching it, and it's finished. Until the end. I hope this video was helpful for you. I hope that you have mastered the difference between by and until. Please stay tuned for the homework. It'll be coming right up after this video, and I will see you in our next lesson. Bye! Hello everyone! Welcome back to Bree's Practical English. I'm Bree, and today I'm going to teach you the difference between been and being. But first, if you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing. If you subscribe and turn on notifications, you will know when the newest lesson is uploaded. Remember everyone, stay to the end of this video to get your homework. You can write the answers to your homework in the comments below. Okay, let's start the lesson. I was asked on my Facebook page by a student, what is the difference between been and being? They're very similar, aren't they? By the way, if you have a question or would like me to make a video on a certain topic, you can comment it down below, or you can join my Facebook page and ask a question there. I read all of my comments, so I'll be sure to see yours. Okay, so a student asked me on Facebook, what is the difference between being and been? So let's look at what being and been are. What are they? Well, they are both participles. They are both participles of to be. Let's look at being first. Being is the present participle of to be. This means we can use being with any form of be. So this includes am, is, was, and were. When we use being, we use it to mean that something is continuing or ongoing, not finished yet. I'll give you some examples. The child is being bullied. The child is being bullied. This means that the action of bullying is continuing. It's ongoing. It's still happening. The child is being bullied. Okay, let's look at another example. She is being nosy. She is being nosy. It means that she is continuing to be nosy. She is maybe asking people about their private business. She is being nosy right now, still continuing to be nosy. Okay? Being can also be used as a gerund. If you don't know what a gerund is, it's when a verb acts like a noun. I'll give you an example. He loves being a police officer. He loves being a police officer. So being as a gerund means existing as something. It's a little bit strange to say he loves existing as a police officer, but that is what it means. Instead of saying existing, we say being. He loves being a police officer. Another example, stop being so clumsy. Stop being so clumsy. In this case, stop existing as a clumsy person. Stop existing as a clumsy person. So again, saying existing here is a little bit strange. Stop being so clumsy. This is more natural. Do you think you have being mastered now? It is a present participle of to be. It is used with all forms of be. Am, is, was, were. Okay? It means something is continuing, ongoing, not yet finished. Or it can mean existing, as in a gerund. He loves being a police officer. Now let's look at been. Like I said before, been is a participle of to be, but it is a past participle of to be. So when we use been, we want to talk about something that's already finished, done. With been, we use it with all forms of have. This includes has, had, will have, and having. Let me give you an example. Let's look at our last two examples, but change them to been. The child has been bullied. The child has been bullied. The bullying has stopped. It's finished. But the child has been bullied in the past. The child has this experience. She has been nosy. She has been nosy. She has been nosy before. The main difference between been and being is what they follow. Been always follows a form of have. I have been to Paris. She has been to Paris. However, being never follows have. We can't say, I have been to Paris. This is incorrect. So if you remember these two key points, you'll be able to remember the difference between been and being a lot more easily. Okay, I'm going to give you a short quiz. I'll ask a question and you can decide if you should use been or being. Okay, let's try. The first question is, he is hospitalized. He is hospitalized. Should we say he is being hospitalized or he is been hospitalized? Okay, do you have your answer? The correct answer is being. Because we are using is, not has. He is being hospitalized. Now he is being hospitalized. Let's try another one. I have working all day. I have working all day. Do you use being or been? Okay, the correct answer is been. I have been working all day. Remember, been always follows have. Being can never follow have. I'll give you one more question. He loves single. He loves single. What do you think? Being or been? All right, the correct answer is being. He loves being single. Being here is a gerund. Remember, being can also be used as a gerund. He loves existing as a single person. He loves being single. How did you do on that short quiz? I hope you got all of the answers right. If you didn't, don't worry. I have some homework questions for you. You can answer them in the comments down below and I'll check them for you. The answers to the homework questions will be in the description box. I hope this video was helpful and I hope you now know the difference between been and being. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, and if you'd like, you can like my Facebook page where I can answer some more of your questions. I'll see you in our next lesson. Bye! Hello, and welcome back to Bree's Practical English. I hope that you're ready to learn. But first, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. That way, you'll know when a new lesson is ready. All right, today's lesson is going to be the difference between hope and wish. Both are regular verbs, and they both mean that you want or desire something. I noticed that a lot of students often confuse these two words. So today, I hope you'll have a better understanding of when to use both of these words. Let's start with wish. Wish is used when you want something that is unrealistic, something that is out of reach. We have an expression in English, wish upon a star. When we see the first star of the night, we make a wish. For example, I wish I had $1 million. Do you wish on stars in your country? Well, if you can remember that you wish on stars, you can remember that a wish is like a faraway star. It's impossible or unlikely to reach it. Let's look at some grammar for wish. When we use wish for something we want now, we use the simple past. It should look like this: subject plus wish plus subject plus verb plus a noun, or what you want. I'll give you a few examples. I wish I could read your mind. This means I wish, I want to be able to read your mind right now. Another example, I wish I were a teenager again, means the same as I want to be a teenager again right now. I wish I knew his phone number. I don't know his phone number, but I want to know his phone number in this moment. One more example. I wish I had a house in Europe. I don't have a house in Europe, but I want one. So it's something that you want now, but you probably won't get it. We can also use wish to talk about regrets or mistakes. We can use subject plus wish plus subject plus past perfect plus past participle plus noun. Here's an example. I wish I had brought an umbrella with me. Maybe it started raining, so not having an umbrella is a regret. I'll give you another example. I wish I hadn't spent all of my money. I've done this before. You get excited and buy something, but later regret spending money. So we talked about the present and the past, but how about using wish for something in the future? A future want. This structure is subject plus wish plus subject plus would plus a base verb plus noun. For example, if someone is annoying you, you could say, I wish he would go away. I wish he would go away. This is a wish for the near future, in the next couple of minutes. Here's one more example. Say that you work in an office and the computers you use are quite old. You might say, I wish they would get new computers. You want new computers sometime in the near future. Okay, I have one more thing to tell you about wish. We also use wish to say that we want someone to have something happy or positive in the future. For example, you might often hear someone say, I wish you good luck, or we wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you the best. The structure is subject plus wish plus subject plus the thing you want someone to have in the future. All right, let's move on to hope. We use hope to express a want or desire that is possible or likely to happen. Let's look at how we can use hope for the present. We use the present simple or present continuous. Here's an example. I hope that you're having fun. Remember, it is very common to drop that. So we can say, I hope you're having fun. And it is still correct. Here is one more present example. I hope that it's warm outside. It's a reasonable expectation that it's warm outside. Let's look at hope for the future. We can use either the present simple, for example, I hope that he answers the phone. Or we can use the future simple, I hope that he'll answer the phone. It usually doesn't change the meaning. Also, with the future, we often use can. For example, I hope you can come to the party tomorrow. I hope he can join us this evening. We can also use to plus infinitive with hope When talking about the future, I hope to compete in the race next month. She hopes to become an engineer. Okay, let's look at hope for the past. So we can use hope for something that's already finished, but we don't know the result or the outcome yet. For example, I hope I passed the test. The test is finished, but I don't know the results. Here's one more example. My friend left the party. She has to take a train home. I might say to myself, I hope she caught the train. The act of catching or not catching the train is finished, but I don't know the outcome. Got it? Here's some bonus information about hope. We can use hope in a short answer format. For example, I hope so, or I hope not. We can also use hope for negative wants or desires. I hope you lose. These do not necessarily have to be possible. For example, I hope you get struck by lightning. But remember, these are negative desires, so please use them sparingly. Okay, that's everything for hope and wish. Next up is your homework. So please leave your answers in the comments. If you wish to study more, please check out my Patreon. I will be uploading PDFs and extra videos there for more in-depth learning. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you the best on your language learning journey, and I hope you have a wonderful day. See you next time! Hello everyone! Welcome back to another lesson. Today's lesson was actually requested by one of my students, so thank you very much. By the way, if you would like some extra homework for this lesson, I will leave a link in the description box, so make sure to go and check it out. All right, today we are going to talk about the differences between could, would, and should. They are all used to talk about possibilities, but they all mean something a little different. Let's look at could first. We use could when we want to say that an action or event is possible, that there is a possibility. Let's look at some examples. If someone asks you, when can you go to the store? You might say, I could go tomorrow. There is a possibility that you can go tomorrow, but maybe there's another day that is convenient. Usually, we give more information when we use could, would, and should. Here's another example with could. I could buy that for you if you really want it. Here's one more example. If I start walking now, I could make it on time. So I can possibly make it on time. It depends on how fast I walk. If I walk too slowly, I could be late. All right, let's look at would. Would is used when we talk about something we imagine. Usually the possibility is not going to happen. If the circumstances were right, we would do something. Here are some examples to help you better understand would. I would buy that for you, but I don't have enough money. This means I want to buy it for you, but I don't have enough money, so I can't. I would go to the park, but it's raining, so I'm not going to go. Okay, one more example. I would go to the party if I felt better, but I don't feel good, so I won't go. Do you think you got it? How about should? We use should when we think something is good to do or that someone must do something. It would be best if someone did something. I'll give you an example. I should study for my test. This means it is best that I study. I must study. You should get some rest is the same as it is best that you rest. Okay, here is one more example. I should throw these old shoes away, but they're my favorite. This means I know I need to throw these old shoes away. Maybe they have holes in them. The best thing is to throw them away, but they're my favorite, so I don't want to. Okay, now that you understand each of their meanings, let's use them in the same sentence. Can you see how each word changes the meaning of the same sentence? Let's use eat dinner. So I could eat dinner, I would eat dinner, I should eat dinner. Okay? I could eat dinner, but I'm not that hungry. I would eat dinner, but I'm still full from lunch. I should eat dinner. It's getting late. Got it? All right. Let's move on to the trickier ones. Adding have done something. So, could have done, would have done, should have done. These all mean that something was possible, but didn't happen in the past. I could have done my homework. Remember, could means a possibility. So there was a possibility to do my homework, but for some reason I didn't. For example, I could have done my homework, but I decided to watch TV instead. Okay? I would have done my homework. Remember, we use would when the possibility is not going to happen. If the circumstances were right, the possibility would happen. For example, I would have done my homework, but my computer was broken. Okay? I should have done my homework. Remember that should means this is the best thing to do. There is an obligation. Should have done is often used when you feel regret. For example, I should have done my homework, but I got distracted. All right, I'll give you another example for each. Ready? I could have woken up earlier. but I was still tired. So I didn't wake up earlier. There was a possibility to wake up earlier, but I decided to keep sleeping. I would have woken up earlier if my alarm clock weren't broken. So I didn't wake up earlier. My alarm clock was broken, so I didn't wake up. Okay, let's try should. I should have woken up earlier. Now I'll be late for class. Again, I didn't wake up earlier. Waking up earlier is the best thing to do. Now I regret my decision because I'll be late for class. Okay, do you think you understand how to use could, would, and should? Don't forget to answer the homework questions in the comments. I will also put a link to extra homework in the description box. So if you are interested, please check that out. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. That way you'll know when new lessons are uploaded. Thanks to the student who requested this video. I hope it was helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye! Hi everyone, welcome back to another English lesson. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today we are going to talk about some prepositions. So you probably know about prepositions, but sometimes they're pretty difficult to know when to use the right one. So today we're going to focus on 3 prepositions: in, on, and at. In, on, at. But first, if you haven't already and you would like to, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You will know when new lessons are uploaded. Thank you so much to everyone who's subscribed so far. We are almost at 1,000 subscribers. That's awesome. Thanks so much. All right, let's jump into the lesson. So a good way to remember in, on, and at is by thinking of an upside down triangle, okay? So at the top of the triangle, we have the most general word, and that is in. So we use in when we talk about general things and bigger things. Now I'm going to explain what I mean by that. So we're going to break these into time and location, okay? Time and location. So when we use in, we can talk about general or big amounts of time. We can use in to talk about centuries, decades, years, months, weeks, and parts of the day. So let me give you an example of each one of those. For centuries, we could say, in the 1700s. For decades, we could say in the 90s. If we want to talk about a specific year, we can say in 2020, in 1998, in 1756. We also use in for months. So in July, in August. So we can also use it for weeks. In a week, in 2 weeks, in 3 weeks. How often do you study English in a week? So we can use in for the morning, the afternoon, the evening. We say in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. All right, now let's look at location. Remember, because we are at the top of our upside down pyramid, in is used for general places or bigger locations. When we use in for locations, we can use them with countries, cities, neighborhoods, and enclosed spaces. I'll give you an example for each one. Here's one for countries. In America, in the Philippines, in Japan. We always use in when we talk about countries. It's the same for cities. In Tokyo, in London, in New York. We never say at New York or on Tokyo. We always use in. Remember, we also use in for enclosed spaces. So an enclosed space could be your house, I'm in my house, or a car, I'm in my car. And finally, neighborhoods. We use in to talk about neighborhoods. For example, in Chinatown. In Chinatown, you can find a lot of delicious food. Okay, now we're moving on to the second part of our upside down triangle. The next word is on. On. On is a little more specific than in, and it's a little smaller. So please remember these two things. Let's talk about time first. We use on to talk about specific dates or holidays. On July 1st. On my birthday. On Christmas. We also use on for days of the week. On Monday, on Friday. And we use on for the weekend. On the weekend. So remember, we use in for weeks. In a week, in 2 weeks. But when we talk about a specific day of the week, or when we talk about the weekend, we always use on the weekend. We never say in the weekend or at the weekend. It's always on the weekend. Let's talk about locations using on. We can use on for streets, avenues, surfaces, a lot of transportation, and communication. Okay? Let's think about streets. We can say, I live on ABC Street. I live on ABC Street. We don't say I live in ABC Street. And we don't say I live at ABC Street. I live on ABC Street. It's the same with avenues. I live on 123 Avenue. And we also use on for a lot of transportation. Remember that I said we use in for enclosed spaces, and I mentioned in a car. We also can say in a taxi. Those are smaller modes of transportation that are enclosed. If we talk about bigger transportation, for example, a bus or a train, we are going to use on, okay? On a bus, on a train. All right, so in a car, in a taxi, on a bus, on an airplane, on a train, on a boat. Okay? So remember these differences. I know it kind of doesn't make sense, but remember, if you say on a car or on a taxi, it sounds like you are on top of it. For bigger transportation, on a bus, we understand that you are riding the bus. We also use on for surfaces. I put the cup on the table. I'm standing on the floor. And one of the most important ones is communications. We use on when we talk about communication. So let me explain a little bit about what that means. When I say communications, I mean things like the radio, the TV, the internet, and the phone, okay? We use on for these four. So I like this song on the radio. My favorite movie was on TV last night. I looked it up on the internet. I called my mom on the phone. For communications, we always use on. Okay, so now we are at the very bottom of our upside down triangle. And at the very bottom, we have the word at. Now, at is very specific and very small. Okay, let's take a look at time with at. So we use at for time and some parts of the day. Okay, let's take a look at these two. So when we talk about a specific time, for example, 8 o'clock, we would say at 8 o'clock. I wake up at 8 o'clock. Now let's look at parts of the day. So remember, we use in for in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. However, we can use at with parts of the day like noon, midnight, and night. So at noon, at midnight, at night. Okay, let's look at locations for at. This is very simple. We are going to use at for addresses and specific locations. So remember I said we can say, I live on ABC Street. But when we say a specific address, for example, I live at 123 ABC Street. That is a specific address, so we will use at. If you're just talking about the street or the avenue, use on. But when you're talking about a specific address, always use at. We also use at for specific locations. I'm at the store. I'm at the station. I'm at the front door. Okay, let's look back and review. So remember, in is the most general and the biggest. So we can say in a country, in Europe, in France. Then we get smaller. In Europe, on ABC Street. Then if you want to get very, very specific, we can say in Europe, on ABC Street, at 123 address. Okay, are you getting it? I'm going to give you your short quiz now. So, I'm going to give you a sentence. Please pick which preposition you should use. In, on, or at. Okay, ready? Let's go. He was born the 1800s. He was born the 1800s. Okay, the correct answer is in. He was born in the 1800s. What are you doing the weekend? What are you doing the weekend? The correct answer is on. What are you doing on the weekend? I always go to bed 8 o'clock. I always go to bed 8 o'clock. The answer is at. I always go to bed at 8 o'clock. I'm the park. I'm the park. The correct answer is at. I'm at the park. He lives Manhattan. He lives Manhattan. The correct answer is in. He lives in Manhattan. She got a taxi. She got a taxi. The correct answer is in. She got in a taxi. Please sit down the sofa. Please sit down the sofa. Okay, the correct answer is on. Please sit down on the sofa. My favorite show was TV last night. My favorite show was TV last night. The answer is on. My favorite show was on TV last night. Okay, this is the last question. See if you can get it right. I'm going to Hawaii, April. I'm going to Hawaii, April. Okay, the correct answer is in. I'm going to Hawaii in April. How did you do? Please write your results of this quiz in the comments below. I know that these prepositions can be a little bit tricky, but if you practice and review, you'll have no problem. So at the end of this lesson, I'll give you some homework questions. Please write your answers in the comments below, and I will check them for you. Okay, please refer back to this video anytime you need to review. Good job, everyone. So I will see you in our next lesson. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye. Hello everyone, welcome back to another English lesson. Today we are going to learn when and how to use a, an, and the, okay? But first, if you haven't already and you'd like to know when new lessons are uploaded, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. That way you'll know immediately when new lessons are uploaded. I know an, and the are a little bit difficult and it's kind of hard for English learners, but you're going to use these articles hundreds or thousands of times in a day if you speak English. So it's really good to get that extra practice in. I'm also going to make a quiz. It'll be in a separate video, so once the quiz is finished, I will link it in a card and I will link it down below too. So once you finish this lesson, I'd like you to come back and take the quiz when it's ready. Okay, let's jump into the lesson. So today we're going to learn a, an, and the. So a, an, and the are articles. We use these articles all the time, and I know a lot of students have trouble knowing which one to use. So I hope in this lesson I can clear up any confusion and help you master how and when to use each one. So we use these articles in front of nouns, but there are some rules and there are some exceptions to the rules. So you know in English that we have a lot of rules, a lot of grammar rules, but we often break those rules. So today I'm going to show you those rules and some exceptions. Let's look at a and an first. So a and an are used for singular nouns. We never use them with plural nouns. So if there's an S at the end, you don't want to use a or an. And we can't use them with non-countable nouns. Now, there are some exceptions to this rule that I'll get into later. So just remember, a and an are for singular nouns. So a and an can mean any, one of many, or a group of things. Okay, but you don't want a specific one. You're not talking about a specific one. It's very general. A and an is very, very general. For example, you go to a restaurant and you order a cheeseburger. You can say, I'd like a cheeseburger. I'd like a cheeseburger. So they have many cheeseburgers at the restaurant. You don't want a specific cheeseburger. Any cheeseburger is okay. So you can say, I'd like a cheeseburger. You don't point and pick out a specific cheeseburger. So remember, a and an you can think of as any, the word any. I'll have any cheeseburger. It doesn't matter which one, just a cheeseburger. Now let's look at the difference between a and an. We use a with singular nouns that have a beginning consonant sound. And the sound part is important. So consonants are C, B, D, F, G, H. Okay? And we use in front of vowel sounds. Vowels in English are A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y. But this is where it gets a little bit tricky. A good example of what I mean by this is the word hour. Hour is spelled H-O-U-R. H is a consonant. However, we don't say a hour. We actually say an hour. And the reason is very simple. We don't pronounce the H in hour. It sounds like O-U-R. We totally get rid of the H sound. And that's why we say an hour. On the other hand, a word that starts with a vowel, university. The U in university doesn't sound like a vowel. It has the y sound. So we say a university, not an university. Kind of tricky. Here are some examples of how we usually use a. A book, a restaurant, a movie. These all begin with consonant letters and have consonant sounds. Here are some regular examples of an. An apple, an egg, an umbrella. These all begin with vowels and have vowel sounds. So there's two things you have to remember. The sound at the beginning of the word, and that a and an are used for general things. I hope you're following me so far. Let's go on to the word the. We use the when we are talking about a specific noun. Okay, specific. Or the only one in a group. We call this a definite article. It's not general, it's definite. It's very specific. We can use the for specific nouns that are singular or plural. I'll give you an example. Where are the markers? The markers are on the table. We are talking about a specific set of markers. The movie I saw yesterday was really good. So the movie. This means I only saw one movie yesterday, and it was really good. The movie. Let's say you go to a cafe and they sell donuts. There's a lot of donuts to choose from, but there's only one donut that is chocolate. You can say, I'd like the chocolate donut, please. The chocolate. There is only one. If you say, I'd like a donut, please, it means any donut. You don't care if it's chocolate, strawberry, plain, any donut is okay. Now, remember what I said about uncountable nouns? Well, here is the tricky part. So when we have a sentence, for example, I gave him some advice. Advice is uncountable. We don't say an advice. However, when we're talking to someone and we mention advice, the next time we say advice, for example, in the next sentence, we can put the. The advice I gave him wasn't good. So the first sentence, I gave him some advice. The advice I gave him wasn't good. The advice. And remember, the pronunciation between the and the is very slight. It changes the same way as and an. So in front of a vowel, a is a vowel, advice, the advice. Some people in America do say the advice. That's okay too. So remember, when we're talking to someone and we've already mentioned something, we can use the in the next sentence. I had an apple for breakfast. The apple was really good. Okay, so first, an apple. And then the listener knows what apple we're talking about. So we use the in the next sentence. Okay, I know it is a little bit hard and a little bit difficult to remember, but I'm going to show you a real life example. Okay, I have 4 markers here. There's 2 red and 2 black. So if I want any marker, I could say, oh, could you hand me a marker? Could you hand me a marker? Any marker is okay. I don't care if it's black. I don't care if it's red. Any marker. A marker. Okay? I took a marker. Okay, now let's say I have 2 red markers and 1 black marker. I want that black marker. I'll say, could you hand me the black marker? Could you hand me the black marker? There's only 1 black marker, so I'll take the black marker, the only marker that's black. Okay? Now, let's try this one more time. I have 4 markers, 2 red, 2 black. And I say, could you hand me a marker? I don't care, any marker. Can you hand me a marker? All right, I got a black one. So I got a marker. It was random. I didn't care which marker I got a marker. But now, since you know I have this marker, I could say, the marker I chose ran out of ink. So because I've chosen this marker, it's not random anymore. It's not just any marker. It's the marker that I have, that I chose. So the marker is out of ink. The marker ran out of ink. Okay? So now it became a specific one that both you and I know. Got it? Are you understanding so far? Is it getting a little bit easier? Now, remember when I said we use a, an, and the articles in front of nouns. Now, there is an exception to this rule too. We don't usually use them in front of proper nouns. So a proper noun is a name of something. So for example, my name is Brittany. We don't say a Brittany or the Brittany. It's a proper noun, so we just say the proper noun. It's the same for countries. We don't say a India, the Japan. However, there is an exception to this rule too. We use the for countries that start with united. So for example, the United States, the United Kingdom, the United Arab Emirates. And we also use the when we talk about a country that is made up of small islands. For example, the West Indies, the Philippines. I live in Japan, but Japan is bigger islands, so we don't put the in front of Japan. We just say Japan. We also use the when we talk about large bodies of water. The Atlantic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, the Red Sea. We can also use the for deserts, the Sahara Desert, or mountain ranges, the Himalayas. However, we don't use the for specific mountains. So we don't say the Mount Fuji. This is something that you'll have to learn over time and with practice. I know it's a little difficult to remember every proper noun that includes the word the, but I recommend listening to native speakers and mimicking them. This will help you improve and master these articles. So just to quickly review, a and an are used in front of singular nouns that are general. We can replace a or an with any. A is used in front of nouns that have a consonant sound. An is used in front of nouns that have a vowel sound. The is used for specific nouns. They can be singular, plural, and when it's the second part of a sentence, once the listener already knows what you're talking about. The is also used in front of some countries, deserts, mountain ranges, and a variety of other proper nouns. So I'm going to give you some homework, and I'd like you to answer the homework questions in the comments. So I'll be able to check them and help you out if you make a mistake. I hope this lesson was helpful. Please remember to come back and take the quiz when it's ready. Thank you guys so much for watching this lesson, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Hi guys. Hi everyone. Welcome to a very impromptu live stream. Let's just wait till we get some people in here. How are you guys doing? I'm just going to quickly share this. Hi everyone. I'm going to share it to my, to my Facebook group, and then we'll start. Let's see. More options. Okay. Oh, we've got a few people in here. Hi. Oh, very good. How are you? I'm doing wonderful. It is a Thursday night here. Where is everybody watching from? Oh, hello. Good morning. I'm pretty good. I'm glad you guys are doing good too. Let's see. I think I shared it. And then let's see. Hold on one second, guys. Hello, hello. Good morning. Hi. Where is everybody watching from? What country are you in? And what time is it? Oh, from Ethiopia. Wow. Kurdistan. Okay. Wow. Lots of different places. That's awesome. Okay. I'm just finishing sharing this and then we'll start the lesson. Good morning. Ooh, Algeria. Very cool. Okay. So I shared it. So we're going to start. Ooh, Iraq. I'm probably, same time as Japan. Very cool. I'm probably not pronouncing your countries the right way. I'm sorry. Okay, so let's start the lesson. So today, I always have trouble showing these things. We're going to learn the past perfect continuous. Past perfect continuous. Can you see that? I'll put it up in front of me. Past perfect continuous. So this is when something happens in the past and stops in the past. So you can see it starts here, continue, and stops. So it does not continue into the present. It stops in the past. Okay, so that is the big thing we have to remember. Okay, past perfect continuous. Oh yeah, I'll teach about conversation too. Don't worry. Okay, so let's take a look here. It's really hard to show these all the time. Oh, I'll go over here. Does that work? No. Oh, here, I got to move my microphone a little bit. So can you still hear me like this? Can you guys still hear me? Okay. So we are going to look at the structure. So the structure is had plus been plus the present participle. Okay. So I have 3 examples here. And one thing to remember is that we usually use a duration. We usually include a duration in our sentence. So for example, in the first one, I had been waiting at the station for 1 hour before he finally arrived. So the duration is 1 hour. 1 hour. Can you see that? I had been waiting at the station for 1 hour before he finally arrived. So the waiting started in the past and stopped in the past he finally arrived, so my waiting stopped. Okay? Now let's look at number 2. Oh, I think my hand is smudging it a little bit. Number 2, had you been studying English long before you decided to come to the US? Had you been studying English long before you decided to come to the US? So, had you been studying English long? So, long is the duration here. Before you decided to come to the US. So, in that case, I'm going to put this down for a second. So, you started studying English. Started studying, keep studying, and maybe you decide to go to the US. So that interrupts your studying. So that's why we use the past perfect continuous. It happened in the past. Okay? Let's look at one more, number 3. I erased some of it with my fingers. If you can see the bottom one, number 3. I had not been studying long before moving to the US. I had not been studying long before moving to the US. Okay? So this is in the negative. So we put I had not. Not goes after had. I had not been studying long. Long is our duration. Long's over here. And moving to the US is what interrupts our studying. Okay? So I know it's a little bit tricky. I know some languages don't even have this tense. So it's something that takes a little bit of practice. But remember, it's had plus been plus the present participle, okay? Do you guys have any questions? Thanks for your messages. Yeah, so this one takes a little bit of practice, but don't worry. Like if you keep saying it and keep trying, it'll get easier in no time. So just remember that it starts in the past and finishes in the past. So it does not happen in the present. Something interrupts it, or it stops, or it changes. And then you're in the present talking about the past. So it's a little bit tricky. It's a little bit of a tricky one. Okay. No questions. Okay. Oh, thank you so much. Okay, well, if you guys want to study something, please leave it in the comments because I'm always checking your comments. And if you want to learn something specific, I can make a lesson on it. This is just a brief lesson on past perfect continuous. So I will make a longer lesson on the YouTube channel. So go and check out the YouTube channel. I'm posting videos there that are longer and they're more edited, and I prepare a little bit more for them. These live streams are kind of just very impromptu. Okay, well, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to try and post a new long lesson on the YouTube channel this weekend. So go check that out. Please subscribe if you're not already. I really appreciate it. We are at, I think, 840 something subscribers, 840 students on the YouTube channel. Oh, and Frederick's here. Thank you for tuning in. Oh, what would you like to know, Frederick? Yeah, please, if you have any any topics or vocabulary or grammar that you really want to study, just mention it in the comments and I'll do my best. Okay, well, I'm going to head out. So thank you guys so much for watching. Oh, yeah, Frederick, I remembered the comma one. Yes, I will have to make a video on that. That's part of like the writing and those kind of mechanics. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you again. If I can, I'll try to go live tomorrow one more time before the weekend, but then there'll be a new long lesson on the YouTube channel this weekend. So look forward to that. Okay, so I'll head out. See you guys tomorrow. Bye. Hello. Hi guys, I'm just going to be on here for a really quick review, okay? Let's see, I think my mic is on. Okay, so I recently posted a new lesson on the YouTube channel, so please go check that out if you haven't seen that yet. We talked about prepositions in, on, and at. In, on, at. Okay, so this lesson is going to be a quick review, all right? So, like I said, I only have a few minutes. Oh, from Turkey, hello. Do you pronounce your name Nasir? Welcome, thank you for joining. Okay. So like I said, this is going to be a quick review. Okay, so we are going to review, I have it here, in, on, at. So we're reviewing these prepositions. Okay, so we use the upside down triangle method. And so in is at the top. It is the most general. It is the biggest amounts of time, biggest places. Then we go to on. On is a little bit more specific, okay? And then we go all the way down to at. At is very specific, very small. Okay, so remember the inverted triangle. Oh, hello everyone. Ooh, from India, from Turkey, from Africa. Wow, all over the world. Hello. I hope you guys are all having a good day. Did you all watch the latest English lesson on the YouTube channel? Because it's up right now, and I talked in depth about these prepositions in, on, at. So this lesson is just going to be a quick quiz, quick review. Okay. Oh, I dropped my marker. That's okay. Oh, from Bangladesh. Hello. Welcome, everyone. Okay. So I have a little quiz for you. Just 3 questions. Just 3 questions. Okay, so we're going to choose in, on, or at. So you guys can participate, okay? Let me know which one you think. So number 1, I'd like to go there. There maybe could be a restaurant or nice shop. I'd like to go there somewhere. My birthday. My birthday. Oh, thank you guys for subscribing. I appreciate it. Okay, so what do you think goes here? In, on, or at? In, on, or at? Can I see some answers in the comments? What do you think? I'd like to go there. My birthday. I'll give you guys a few minutes to think about it. You have the choices. In, on, at. Which one do you pick? Oh, I see on. On. Does everyone think on? Oh, you guys are very good. Yes, the correct answer is on. I'd like to go there on my birthday. So when we use on, we talk about specific days, like on Monday, on Tuesday, and we talk about holidays. So like my birthday or on the weekend. Okay, very good. Everybody got it right. Very good. Okay, number 2. I'm waiting for you. The restaurant. I'm waiting for you. The restaurant. What do you think? In, on, or at? In, on, or at. Number 2, in, on, or at. I'm waiting for you. The restaurant. Okay, I'll give you a second to think. What do you think the answer is? Oh, somebody said at. I'm waiting for you at the restaurant. Somebody said in. I'm waiting for you in the restaurant. Another person at. Very good. So this one's a little bit tricky, a little bit flexible. So I would say I'm waiting for you at the restaurant. I think this is the most natural. I'm waiting for you at the restaurant. So at a specific place. But if you want to say like I'm inside the restaurant, you could say I'm in the restaurant as an enclosed space. But I think more naturally we would say at. I'm waiting for you at the restaurant. You guys did very good. Oh my gosh. You guys are perfect. Okay, then this is the last one. She met him the 80s. She met him the 80s. What do you think? In, on, or at? In, on, or at. She met him the 80s. In, on, or at. In, on, or at. Okay. Oh, somebody said in. Okay. Anybody else? Oh, in. She met him the 80s. Okay, I'll give you a couple more seconds. Oh, everybody's saying in? Very good. You guys are awesome. She met him in the 80s. In the 80s. So we use in for bigger amounts of time. So years, decades, centuries. So the 80s is decades, okay? So that falls into that category. Very good. You guys are all perfect. Very nice. So I'd like to go there on my birthday, on a specific day. I'm waiting for you at the restaurant, a specific place. She met him in the 80s, a very big time frame. Okay, so remember it's the inverted triangle. In, on, at. In is the most general, on is a little more specific, and at is very specific. Okay, very good. That seems so easy for everyone. Okay, so let me check the time. Ooh, I've got to go. I've got to run. I have another lesson. So thank you guys so much for participating. I really appreciate it. And if you need a little bit more help with prepositions, I have the whole lesson on my YouTube channel. So go check that out. And I'll be back with another lesson very, very soon. So thank you guys so much. Talk to you later. Talk to you in the next lesson. Bye. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my English learning channel. It's nice to see you here again. If you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing. If you subscribe, you'll know when new lessons are uploaded. Okay, today's lesson was requested by one of my students. They wanted to know the difference between somewhat and somehow. Okay, so we're going to look at these two words today. But I'm going to throw in one extra word, somewhere. So we're going to learn somewhat, somehow, somewhere today. Are you ready? You might have already realized that all three of these words begin with another word, some. So what do we know about the word some? Well, some means a little, okay? And then following the word some, we have some question words. So we have somehow, how is a question word. Somewhere, where is a question word. Somewhat, and what is a question word. So you've probably already studied what those words mean. What, how, where. These are common question words. But if you look at the word as it is, for example, somehow, a little how, somewhat, a little what, it doesn't really make sense, right? So for these words, you need to know what they mean as one word. They're not two words put together that you can understand. You have to remember them as one word. Okay, let's take a look at somehow and somewhere first. These two words are related because they both mean that some information is unknown. Somehow means in a way that is unknown. We don't know how something happened. I'll give you a quick example. Even though I didn't know how to drive very well, I somehow made it home in one piece. This means I wasn't a very good driver. I don't know how, but I was able to make it home safely. I somehow made it home in one piece. I made it home safely. Let's try one more example. I was so surprised to see that my dog followed me to the park. He somehow escaped from my yard. I don't know how he escaped, but somehow he escaped. Okay, do you think you understand somehow? Let's look at somewhere. Remember, somewhere is a little bit related to somehow. We are lacking information. We don't have enough information. So you might have guessed that somewhere means a place that is unknown. So somehow is a way that is unknown. Somewhere is a place that is unknown. Let's look at some examples. I am looking for my glasses. I know I put them somewhere. I put them in a place, but now I forgot or I don't remember where I put them. In that case, we say somewhere. I know I put my glasses somewhere, but where was it again? I don't remember. I don't know. How about this example? I want to go somewhere warm for my vacation. I don't know where exactly I want to go, but I want to go to a place that's warm. So maybe Hawaii, maybe Bali, somewhere warm. The place is unknown at the moment. Okay, you guys are doing really well. Let's look at the last word. So somehow and somewhere were kind of related, right? They were unknowns. However, somewhat is not related to the last two words. Somewhat actually means a little. So we use somewhat when we want to talk about an amount of something. All right, let's look at some examples. I am somewhat tired. This means I'm a little tired. Learning English is somewhat confusing at times. This means learning English is a little confusing at times. Okay, do you think you understand all three of these words? Let's do a quick quiz and see how well you can remember how to use them. I'll give you a sentence. Try to fill in the blank with which word you think is correct. Okay? Ready? Let's start. The project has progressed. Do you think it's somehow, somewhere, or somewhat? The project has progressed. Okay, time's up. The answer is somewhat. The project has progressed somewhat. So the project has progressed a little bit. All right, let's look at another question. I think John lives in this neighborhood. I think John lives in this neighborhood. Okay, the correct answer is somewhere. I think John lives somewhere in this neighborhood. Okay, let's try another question. I didn't study at all, but I passed my test. I didn't study at all, but I passed my test. Okay, time's up. The answer is somehow. I didn't study at all, but I somehow passed my test. Okay, I'll give you one last question. Ready? I didn't know this city very well, but I made it to my hotel. I didn't know the city very well, but I made it to my hotel. Okay, time's up. The correct answer is somehow. I didn't know the city very well, but I somehow made it to my hotel. Okay, how did you do on that short quiz? Did you get all of the questions right? If so, you are good to go. If you still want some more practice, I'll leave a link to extra homework in the description box. You can find other resources on my Patreon. If you want to see more quizzes, more homework, or live streams, go check out my Patreon. Let me know how you did on the quiz in the comments below. I hope you guys all passed. I hope you guys found this video helpful. Thank you so much to the student who requested it. If you have some requests, you can comment them in the comments or you can find me on Facebook. All right, I'll see you guys in the next lesson. Bye for now. Hello everyone, welcome back to another English learning video. I'm in a very plain background today because I just have a very short time to film today, so I couldn't set up my usual spot. So today, sorry, it's a plain white wall. Okay, so in today's lesson, I want to go over 5 get phrasal verbs. So 5 phrasal verbs using get. Okay, but first, if you haven't already and you would like to, please don't forget to
hit that subscribe button so it will let you know when new lessons are uploaded. So if you don't know what a phrasal verb is, it's usually a combination of two words that, if you hear them, you probably know the meaning of the individual words, but when they're combined together, sometimes the meaning is not clear. And these are very important for learning English. A lot of Americans use phrasal verbs all the time. So the first phrasal verb with get we're going to look at is get lost. Get lost. So you probably know to get lost means that you can't find your way. For example, if you're going somewhere new and you take the wrong road, you get lost. I got lost on the way to your house. But what I'm going to teach you today is another way to use get lost. Get lost can also mean go away. Go away. Get lost. So it's not the nicest word, but it's an important one for you to know. So we use get lost to mean go away when we are angry or impatient. So an example could be, why don't you leave me alone? Get lost. Okay, so it is used when we are angry or when we have no more patience. Get lost, okay? Go away. So please use this sparingly. Don't use get lost all the time because it is a little bit of a mean thing to say. Okay, number 2 is get over it. Get over it. So to get over something means to feel happy or feel better again after something bad has happened. So we could say, they got into an argument, but they'll get over it. So they will feel better later. We also say, get over an illness. I was sick for a week, but I finally got over it. So I finally feel better again. Similarly, this can also mean to start to forget someone or something and start feeling better. So if there's a couple, let's say John and Sue. John breaks up with Sue. He ends their relationship. That means Sue might have to try and get over John. She'll have to forget about him and move on, start to feel better without him. She'll have to forget him. She'll have to get over him. We can also use this for people who think highly of themselves. For example, he thought he could do no wrong. He should get over himself. Maybe he loves himself too much, so he should start to forget himself. So if someone is very full of themselves or they think highly of themselves, we could say, you should get over yourself. So stop thinking so highly of yourself. Why do you put yourself above others? Forget about yourself. You should get over yourself. Number 3 is get out. Get out. Get out can be similar to get lost. So if we say it when we are angry, get out. That means leave. It's not a very nice way to tell someone to leave, but if you're angry, it's very effective. We can also get out of things. For example, get out of a car. And it can also mean leaving your house. So I've been stuck at home so long, I needed to get out. I needed to go and meet my friends. Get out. Recently, I don't get out much. This means I don't leave my house much. We can also use get out for the spreading of information. A rumor got out that he's moving soon. A rumor got out that a celebrity is at our school. Okay, get out information, spreading information. Okay, number 4. Number 4 is get by. Get by. Get by means to manage or to survive or succeed barely. We often use get by with the word manage. I managed to get by with my low salary for years. So somehow I was able to survive with my low salary for years. We can also use this for languages. I can get by with conversational English. So if your English is not that great, but somehow you are okay with conversational English, you can say, I can get by with conversational English. Or my English is not that good, but I can get by. Okay, and the last one, number 5, is get rid of. Get rid of. Get rid of means to do away with or throw away something. I bought a new computer, so I got rid of my old one. I threw it away. Another example, what is a good way to get rid of stress? What is a good way to get rid of stress? Okay, this is a very good one to know. It's very simple. Get rid of just means throw away or do away with. Get rid of something. Okay, how was it? Was it easy? I'll give you a short quiz right now, and then I will give you homework at the end of this lesson. So please remember to stick around until the very end. Okay, are you ready for your quiz? Let's go! My refrigerator is small, but I managed to... My refrigerator is small, but I managed to... Okay, the correct answer is I managed to get by. My refrigerator is small, but I managed to get by. I can't wait to... That old couch. I can't wait to... That old couch. The correct answer is get rid of. I can't wait to get rid of that old couch. She's only just the death of her husband. She's only just the death of her husband. The correct answer is get over. She's only just getting over the death of her husband. Having a new baby, I don't as much as I used to. Having a new baby, I don't as much as I used to. The correct answer is get out. Having a new baby, I don't get out as much as I used to. Last question. I'm so fed up with you. Why don't you... I'm so fed up with you. Why don't you... The correct answer is get lost. I'm so fed up with you. Why don't you get lost? If you don't remember fed up, I have a lesson on getting angry. I'll leave a card for you, so go check that out. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching this lesson. I hope you learned something new, and please don't forget to do your homework at the end of this video. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye!
Hello everyone! Welcome back to my English teaching channel. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, I will link my self-introduction video down below or up here or somewhere up here. Today's video is going to be the difference between I think, I suppose, and I guess. So today we're going to learn 3 words: to think, to suppose, and to guess. So first, I'm going to briefly go over the definitions. The definition of to think means to have a particular belief or idea or opinion. She thought that nothing would be the same again is the same as she believed that nothing would be the same again. In the case of an opinion, we could say, I think this salad is delicious. So to think that something is delicious is to have an opinion. To suppose means to think or assume that something is true or likely, but lack proof or certain knowledge. I suppose I got there about noon means I lack the information or knowledge to say for sure I arrived at noon, but I suppose it's likely that I arrived at noon. To guess means to estimate or conclude something without sufficient information to be sure of being correct. I guess Mr. Smith is about 35 or 36 years old means the same thing as I don't know Mr. Smith's age, but a close estimate might be 35 or 36 years old. So now you might be thinking, okay, guess and suppose are very similar. So what's the difference? Suppose usually means to come to a conclusion from the information you have, even if you don't have enough information to be certain. Guess is sometimes used to mean approximately the same thing. However, guess can mean that you are making a statement with very little information or no information at all. There is one big difference between suppose and guess. Guess can also be used as a noun. It means an opinion that you reach without any evidence, or the act of forming such an opinion. We use to take a guess or to make a guess. For example, to take a guess at someone's weight. We can't say to take a suppose or to make a suppose. We can only use take or make with guess. To take a guess, to make a guess. They're a little tricky, I know. So let's start with I think. So out of these 3, I think sounds the most sure. Maybe not 100%, but pretty close. It can also be used to express your opinion about something. So one example could be,
so where do you want to go on your next vacation?
I think Hawaii would be really good. So here we are expressing our opinion, and also we think Hawaii would be fun. Perhaps we've never been to Hawaii, but in our mind, Hawaii seems fun. Another example.
Do you remember what time the movie starts?
I think the website said 8 o'clock. In this example, it's not our opinion we're talking about, but we are pretty sure the website said 8 o'clock. Maybe we are not 100% sure. Don't blame me if I'm wrong, but I think 8 o'clock. So how about I suppose? So I suppose sounds less sure than I think. So I think we're pretty sure. I suppose, not that sure. Here's one example.
Hey, shouldn't you be doing your homework?
I really wanted to watch this TV show, but I suppose you're right. Another example.
I made this dessert for the party tonight, but is it enough for 10 people?
I suppose it's enough. To suppose means to think that something is likely to be true. Dan's not answering his phone. I suppose he's busy. I suppose also could sound a little bit formal rather than I guess or I think. I suppose the doctor is right. This surgery is very dangerous. And for the final one, we're gonna learn I guess. I guess sounds like you don't have a lot of information, but you are making a quick thought. So one example.
Hey Bree, I got you a present. Can you guess what it is?
Oh, thank you. It's pretty light. If I had to guess, I'd say it's empty.
Oh, you're right. It is empty.
Here's another situation that we use I guess a lot. It's when we kind of feel defeated, like there's no other choice.
It's already midnight. We've missed the last train.
I guess we have to take a taxi then. Here's one more example for I guess.
It's been raining since yesterday. Does that mean the fireworks are going to be canceled?
I guess so. I'm going to go over the 3 definitions one more time to make sure you understand properly. To suppose means to assume something based on some evidence or probability, but without having certain proof. Saying, I suppose you have a good reason for missing dinner, means I'm sure you probably have a good reason for missing dinner. Another example, it's 5 p.m. and nobody answered the phone at the office. I suppose they've already gone home. This means the same as, I know the office closes at a certain time. Based on that and the evidence that nobody answered the phone, I assume they've already gone home. To guess means to estimate something without having sufficient information to be exactly correct. There's a long line in front of the ramen shop. I guess there will be a long wait for a table. Because there is a long line, I estimate that there will be a long wait for a table. Remember, there is one big difference between to suppose and to guess. To guess can also be used as a noun. We can say to make a guess or to take a guess. We cannot use suppose as a noun. Suppose also sounds a little bit formal sometimes, and guess can sometimes be used the same as suppose. However, guess can be used when you have little or no information at all. So please remember these differences when you use suppose and guess in conversation. To think means to believe something or have an opinion or idea. For example, I don't think Lori will get the job. Means, in my opinion, I don't believe Lori will get the job. One more example. I think it is important to learn English. This means I believe it is important to learn English. So those are the differences between I think, I suppose, and I guess. Do you guys have a better understanding of those three words now? So for your homework, I would like you to comment down below and use I think, I suppose, and I guess. Try to make 3 sentences using these words and the different nuances. I think that's it for this video today. I suppose you learned a lot from this video, hopefully, and I guess I'll have to make some more videos like this in the future. Don't forget to do your homework in the comments below, and I will see you next time. Bye!